The home stretch starts now. By word and by wager, we welcome in two of our very best, CBS NBA insider Bill Reiter and Sportsline analyst Tim Doyle. Fellas, let's begin with the defending champs. Milwaukee sort of sidestepped out of the gate and then limped into the break a bit, but right in the thick of it in a jam-packed Eastern Conference. Bill, when it's all systems go with this crew, how real are their chances to repeat?
Yeah, I love the Bucks' chances. Let me just say this. This is a magical moment because the last time I saw Tim Doyle, I walked into a bar in my hometown of Manhattan Beach, and there he was walking through the door, holding court like the champion that he is, and that's what the Bucks are. You may not expect him. You may not think they're going to be there. You may not be paying attention, but Milwaukee is the team to keep your eye on. You just said it. They're the defending champions. Giannis is such a high level, and they don't have the drama that's going to plague two of the other contenders, and I know we'll talk about them in the Sixers and the Nets. We've seen it. We know what they can do. We know the level Giannis is at. I think the Bucks are a tremendous value and a real threat in a crowded East to be a team again that makes the NBA Finals this year.
You know, I was looking at your bookshelf there, and just to the right of you best describes yourself. You are a savage beauty. I don't know if you've ever read that book, but that is one of them that's hovering over your right shoulder blade. Here's the deal about the Bucks. You trust them. You know what the Bucks are? You bring them home to mom. You go, these are the Bucks. They've won the championship. They have a good job. They have a 401k. They have dental. Like, you know what they're going to bring to the table when they're healthy. When the big three are out there, this is clearly one of the best teams in the league. I was in Cleveland at the All-Star game. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody plays harder than Giannis. He was going hard in the skills competition. He blocked the dunk in the All-Star game. And by the way, he fouled somebody on a jump shot in the All-Star game. That's all you need to know. Because he plays so hard, it rubs off on everybody else. But the Bucks, when healthy, you know what you're going to get. If you want to bet them, I totally understand it. But I think there are other teams out there, and you see the numbers with the big three. We're talking about Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis, and without the big three. But I think there are other teams out there, Musso, that have more intrigue, more upside. The Bucks are safe, but safe isn't always the best way to go.
Yeah, safe, and you use the word intrigue. Could that intrigue turn into distraction and the safe team become the best team? Only time will tell, but anytime you can see Tim Doyle in his natural habitat, that is, it is a winning situation. And if I know anything, it's that Tim Doyle's already holding a variety of future tickets, but taking a look at the current odds to win the East, guys, Nets and the Sixers, they're permanently linked for the remainder of this season and beyond. 3-1 and plus 340 to win the East, respectively. TD, who represents the better value proposition between those two?
How the heck could you bet the Nets? You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much drama off the floor. And now you bring in a guy who's filled with drama with an organization that's already filled with drama. Between these two teams, I'm going to go with the 76ers. And the best way to describe Philadelphia right now is when Jesse Spano and Saved by the Bell got all souped up on caffeine pills. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so scared because is this going to work? I don't know. But I know this. Joel Embiid, talent-wise, one of the top three most talented players in the league, and right now your favorite to win the MVP. And now you bring in Harden. A motivated James Harden should scare everybody. Guys, last year he had the fat suit on in Houston. He takes an airplane to Brooklyn. He thrusts himself in the MVP conversation. That all happened last year. Oh, and by the way, during Christmas season, he went to the Lakers, put up a massive performance, and I was like, wow, he still got that in his bag. How did James Harden follow that up? With 3 more games where he averaged over 35 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists. Guys, this was a month and a half ago. I mean, are you not entertained? This reminds me, Ryder, when Akeem brought in his old college teammate Clyde Drexler to push him over the hump to win the second NBA championship. I don't know if this is going to work out. It didn't work out so great for Jesse Spano. She kind of reared off the deep end with Showgirls after Saved by the Bell. I hope we don't go that style here for the 76ers. I think this is the year the talent gets them over the hump.
I actually have Savage Beauty because it's a biography of Tim Doyle. I wanted to get inside the mind of a savage artist. Look, you're right about James Harden. He's amazing in December. He might be the best player on earth in random games that are played in December that feel like but really aren't important. What I've never seen him do is be able to step up in critical games in May with an actual berth of the NBA Finals on the line. I know he can be the number 2. I know there's Joel Embiid. If you make me choose one of these two teams between Philly and the Nets, and they're both drama-filled, and they're both full of guys who feel all the feelings of Ben Simmons and James Harden, I mean, James Harden does nothing but run away. You make me pick one, I'll go Brooklyn because we presume and we think, and I hear that Kevin Durant's going to be back. I've seen him win NBA championships. I've seen Kyrie Irving, his drama not withstanding, hit a big shot against the Warriors, help LeBron and Cleveland get one. I think Simmons found the absolute best fit for his weirdness and his weakness outside of maybe Golden State, and we don't talk enough about Seth Curry. That's a nice addition. So give me the Nets if I got to choose between those two teams. But the real value for me are squads like the Heat, maybe Milwaukee. You said it. That's the team you take home to your family. I like Brooklyn if I have to choose between them and the Sixers, but I'm not sure either of them overcome their foibles, their weaknesses, and the bizarre realities of their newly acquired stars.
Might I cast a lone vote for Chicago as well? Let's turn our attention out west, guys. Talking about the Golden State Warriors. Tim gives me the Too close to the situation. Anyone who questioned Phoenix's success a year ago has promptly faded into the background. They're favorites to repeat as Western Conference champs, boasting odds just shy of 2-1. Sitting in a close second are those Dubs, Bill, at plus 210. Sounds like Draymond could be getting closer. Clay's rounding into form. Kuminga has been a revelation in his teens. And yeah, then there's the greatest shooter of all time holding it all together. Which side of this Phoenix-Golden State conversation, Bill, do you fall on?
All right, look, I love the Suns, and last year I put a sizable bet on those guys to win the NBA championship, and they erased a whole bunch of debts from the NFL season because I was able to look for some middles and in the end just put some money on Milwaukee and hedge. So I like the Suns. Thank you, Suns. I love you, Phoenix. But the Golden State Warriors, I think, they're the better basketball team, and that was true even before Chris Paul went down to injury. Draymond Green just told us over the break he'll be back in 3 to 4 weeks. They need him. But even without Draymond, this is the best defense for Golden State in the NBA. We saw Steph Curry at the All-Star game putting to doubt this stupid notion that he's washed or that he's hit some kind of a shooting funk. He's still Steph Curry, still the best shooter of all time. We saw at the end of the regular season, before the break, at the end of that part of the regular season, Clay start to get into form. Golden State has won NBA championships. They know what they're about. They have the culture. They're going to have the guys. Their big three is going to be reconstituted. I love Golden State, even if they went up against a fully healthy Phoenix team. And even though we think Chris Paul is going to be back, he's got this history, he's snake bit, this bad luck or whatever it is, to just break down and get hurt at the end of seasons and in postseasons. And he's a much older dude than he was when that began as a problem for him. Give me Golden State all the way.
Billy Boy, you're onto something there. Get the money with the Warriors because the upside is amazing. How many teams are going to get better in the second half by adding in an all-star in Draymond Green? Oh, by the way, they're also going to add in the overall first pick in the draft, James Wiseman. It's going to take some time for them to kind of blend. They've had such a unique year without Clay, and then Draymond gets hurt, and then Clay's back. You've seen kind of the adjustments of their lineups changing, and I think they're going to go through a little bit of a rut, but it's like one step back for 10 steps forward. As for Phoenix, you said it. You know what Chris Paul is? He goes to the wedding and he's like this with the bouquet. Throw it to me. Like, throw me the money bag. Like, he never gets the money bag. Like, he can't get his team over the hump. They're the safe pick. They've won 18 of their last 19. If the finals started today, they would be in massive trouble because Chris Paul's hurt. Chris Paul changed this organization. I was holding MVP tickets. He's made Devin Booker a more professional. DeAndre Ayton secretly hates him because he pushes Ayton to be the best pro he could be. Paul has been remarkable. It's been a great run. They're not winning the title. We all know that. The Warriors are getting to the NBA Finals. Way too much talent and a team, Joe, that has massive upside.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch it all play out. Guys, I usually would not subject such talent to an in-depth conversation regarding a 9 seed, 4 games under 500, but when it's King James and the Lake Show, that conversation does have to be had. Tim, you sat in this very studio a couple months ago and stamped this team as a non-factor. With 24 games remaining, what's the true ceiling for the Lakers this season, TD?
I think they can get into the playing game, Bill, and win a game. I mean, you know, where they're situated right now, they're going to see if they win the playing game, you know, Golden State or Phoenix. So how could they possibly win 4 games against those teams? So, you know, Russell Westbrook, I saw Stan Van Gundy tweet something out that statistically from an offensive standpoint, the numbers are pretty consistent. You know, this year, even though he's catching a lot of heat from, you know, everyone who's watched him play, his numbers are actually pretty consistent to where they kind of projected out to be. He's not guarding anybody. I don't know. It's a disaster, Bill. Do they even get into the playoffs? That's the bigger question. And can they win the play-in game? Sure, I think they can win the play-in game, Bill.
Yeah, bad basketball team, mediocre defense, atrocious offense, terrible fit with Russell Westbrook, a very, very angry LeBron James doing what LeBron does when things go badly, even if it's because of the team he put together as the shadow GM. He's throwing shade every which direction. Anthony Davis, this is so mean, but he's the Humpty Dumpty of the NBA. All Genie Bus's men aren't going to be able to put him back together again. This is who he is. It all adds up to what Tim's talking about. Maybe the upside, right? Maybe the ultimate moment for this team this year is you get into the play-in and LeBron goes off and he wins a couple games, and then you get publicly humiliated in an epic 4-game sweep beatdown at the hands of the Suns or the Warriors. That is the best it's going to go. And I'm with Tim. They'll probably make the play-in, but there's no guarantee when that happens that they advance.
Guys, I know this is a bridge we can cross if and when we get there, but Bill, how big of a knock is this on LeBron's legacy if a team, as you put it, constructed in his own image, does fall short of a play-in?
Yeah, this is the catch-22 of LeBron James. This has always been true. You go back to those Cleveland teams. I want Timothy Mozgov. I want J.R. Smith on that little two-wheel moped thing or whatever the hell it is that I fell off and hit my head once. That's not easy to do, J.R. Smith. Even Miami was a place that he left in large part because he couldn't impose his will in the front office. But always in Cleveland and really in L.A., he was able, through his own excellence, to be able to lift up a team despite the shortcomings of his shadow GM shenanigans and those of Rich Paul, his best friend and the guy that runs Clutch Sports. That's when you talk about Clutch Sports and Rich Paul, his agent and the agent of other guys, you're really talking about LeBron James, and that is LeBron's guy. He gets a ton of blame. It's just never stuck because he was so good and so overwhelmingly talented, he could carry a team. He can't do that anymore. Is he scoring 29 points per game this year? Yes. Is he still amazing? Of course he is. But he's not that rare talent that can take almost any team, not anymore, not at age 37, and make it an NBA contender. And that means that the blame is going to stick, and I think you'll see it get ugly just in terms of the leaks and the storylines in LA between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, he has been spectacular, but it appears that this season the lift could be a bit too much. Bill, let's talk about some contenders here, though. Give me a fringe team that you see poised to make a solid push here to the finish line.
I'm not going back to the well on the Suns, but I'm going back to the well on a team that I bet on a lot last year. Give me the Atlanta Hawks, baby. Renaissance Post All-Star game number 2. Yes, they are about as effective defensively if poor Tim Doyle had to play an NBA game with me and me and me and me, like 4 of me and him. They're atrocious. But that was true last year, too. They're going to show some effort. They're going to show some energy. I've talked to some folks in that organization, and they're, interestingly, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but they are calm about their prospects. They believe they can do what they did last year. They have the second best offense in the NBA, and poor Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish wasn't exactly a world beater for them. They're more the same team they were last year. Are they going to make an Eastern Conference Finals? I don't think so. Can they rattle off a bunch of wins, actually start playing defense, actually put some effort in, and be the best version of themselves we saw last year and be interesting? I think they can be. I think they will be.
I'm holding Hawks futures, and they do not look good. I think, Bill, you tweeted at me because I bet futures on 3 teams. I bet Bulls futures. They were like minus 160 to make the playoffs. Was that the easiest money ever? And they're over under. I bet Bulls futures, Grizzlies futures. I will stand on a mountaintop and tell you when I'm right. I have Hawks futures. I rip them up. I hope, Bill, you're right because I have some tickets going. Maybe I can hedge. But Boston, what has happened there? They've figured it out. How they've won 9 of 10 now. Right before the break, they stubbed their toe against the Pistons. The talent's there. They add in Derek White. They bring back Tice, who's 116 years old, but everybody likes him. And now they're playing good basketball. You know what they're doing? They're guarding. I think Tatum and Brown, they don't play well together. I don't know. I think they'd be better off by themselves. I think their talent is unbelievable. I don't think they really know how to play at an exceptionally high level. But, man, they have figured it out as of late. Al Horford's another guy who's 116 years old. They have the pedigree. And the fact that they showed me something, I like Bill's pick, but man, I've been waiting for the Hawks all year to kind of come around. They haven't done it. Boston has come around right before the All-Star break, so I give them a slight edge, but I think Bill's on to something as well.
Last year, it was the cabinets, maybe this year, countertops, if the Hawks can turn it around for Tim Doyle. All right, we always do offer up an opportunity, guys, to resubmit our official pick, so let's put it on tape. Tim Doyle, you go first. Who's last man standing come mid-June?
I think it's the 76ers. I think it's going to be a Final Four. I think the 76ers are going to play the Bucks, and the Warriors are going to play the Suns. And then, honestly, from there, Bill, injuries happen and who's healthy. But I don't know how many more years Embiid has. I know he's got 2 or 3. but I don't see him aging gracefully. And Harden's definitely on the other side of the mountain. I just have this funny feeling that Harden's going to be motivated. There's enough pieces around him, whether it is Tobias Harris or Danny Green just standing in the corner. Like, there's something there in Philly. They showed you when they went to Milwaukee and beat the Bucks. So, honestly, if they don't do it this year, they're never going to do it. So I'm going to take a flyer and take the 76ers.
Yeah, I like that pick. You're right, Tim. If it's not this year or next year, it doesn't happen because James Harden, fat suit or no fat suit, as you savage beauty, you Tim Doyle said earlier in the show, he's getting up in age, man. He's 32. He's going to be 37 at the end of the extension they're going to give him. I'm going to go with the safe pick. What did you say, Tim? I'm going to go with the Western Conference version of the team that you take home to your parents. And you hit on this earlier. The Golden State Warriors, man, they are the best team in the NBA. They're going to get back Draymond Green. He's going to be presumably relatively fresh when he gets back. Klay Thompson is rounding into form. Steph Curry is an absolute magician. They're incredible defensively. That team has never won, the Warriors, an NBA championship, but they haven't been top 5 defensively. The years they didn't, we thought they would. They just slipped a little bit. They are extraordinary on defense this year, and it's a really thin field in the West, for me at least, and I love Ja Morant. I know you do too, Doyle. I know you almost named your kid after Ja Morant, but it's either Phoenix, I think, or it's Golden State. It's not the slog that's going to be. It's not the battle and the war of attrition. It's going to be in the East. I think that means when the Warriors get there, they're in a little bit better shape, and I like them to win the whole thing.
A pair of true savage beauties. Tim Doyle, Bill Reiter, we thank you as always. All right, let's take a look at those plays once again from our guys. Second half selections, you can make some money starting right now. Better value to win the East, Brooklyn or Philly. Similar odds there at plus 300, plus 340. They don't agree. Bill Reiter taking the Nets. Tim Doyle says can't trust the Nets. Give me that plus 340. He also likes Philly at plus 650 to be his pick to win the NBA title because if not now, then when?
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.